Rockshox Yari versus Lyrik. What's the difference? How different is it? Let's talk about it real quick here. As usual, if you find any of my blithering content useful, please consider like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Look at those flowers, man. Summer is the best. So we got our Alpine Trail 7 here. Came with Rockshox Yari, and I said to myself, Alex, you can't have a Yari. Everyone's gonna laugh at you. Ooh, it's a basic fork. Basic. But I thought, you know, I'll give it a try. I had a Fox 36 before, Performance, and I had a Pike before. Great fork. Love the Pike. Low bump sensitivity, radness. I rode my friend, has a new Marzocchi Bomber Z1. Really good fork, great low bump sensitivity, and he has a 36 Performance Elite, a newer one. So I was able to compare this directly. Is the Yari any good? The answer is no. It's fine. It works. It's an open bath fork, which means it has a whole bunch of fluid in there. And the way these things work, the dampening cartridges, you have a bunch of shims, and the shims control how fast the oil goes past it. So when you're compressing the fork and rebounding, the oil has to go through these orifices, and that's more or less how it works. And they're different from thing to thing. The motion control dampener in this thing, it's not any good. The way they've got this set up, I feel like it is specifically meant to sell you a Lyrik or an upgrade kit, because I'm sure they could make this good, and yet they can't. I tried every pressure that exists in the Debonair air spring, which is, you know, 2021. I tried all the settings on this thing. It has no low bump, it has very little mid-stroke, and its bottom out is acceptable. I did some pretty big drops on this for me, like an 8-foot drop, and it works, but it has no feel. It has no low bump, it has no mid-stroke. It's terrible. So I finally ponied up for the Charger 2.1. Charger! Are you charging? You're charging. It's a huge difference. It has a bladder in it. There's 3 types of dampers, by the way, for this. You've got your Charger R, which is totally different than 2.1. It's got an internal floating piston, so it's got like a spring at the top of it. It's a totally different damper design than you have Charger 2.1, which is, and Charger 2, different shim stacks and setup they did. They changed it after 1 year from 2 to 2.1, so I guess it wasn't great or whatever. They want to sell more dampers, but it's got a bladder on it, and when you get the cartridge, it's completely bled already, and it's got fluid, and you just screw the thing in. It's way better. It has great low bump on it. It has great mid-stroke. The bottom out is pretty good as far as I can tell. I only got 2 spacers in there. It's got a low-speed compression adjust on there. I've just got the RCT3, which is, there's a more expensive one with high-speed compression adjust, but it was expensive bloody enough as it was to get this. But what's the difference? I read some people online, they said, it's not that big a difference between the Yari and the Lyrik. Maybe the internal floating piston one, but the 2.1 to the motion control is a huge difference. And the fork is the centerpiece of your control on a mountain bike. I really realized this. Forgive the wind. It's a beautiful day out. I like the wind cooling me off because I am hot. So hot. I got my roadie gear on. I'm still hot. Roadie gear is superior for heat, by the way, although I love baggies. My friends would make fun of me endlessly if they saw me like this, but whatevs, bro. It's a big difference. And I'd considered, I was like, oh, I'll upgrade this right away. I didn't. I tried it, and it was terrible. And it made me not like the bike. And now I have the Charger damper. It suits the bike properly. So that's the difference. It's big, unfortunately. So consider that if you look at buying a bike with the Yari. You can upgrade it, and it's great, but this was 350 bucks Canadian shipped, and that's a lot. So, you know, consider that when you look at getting like a 36 or a Pike or a Lyrik on the bike already. It's a big upgrade. Anyways, hope you found this useful. Let me know what your thoughts are. I mean, this is my personal opinion, right? But it's a big difference. Crazy bikes. See you in the next one.